Hello dear viewers, welcome back to this channel on Learn Bio with Janet. Today we'll be studying Form 5 Biology, Chapter 2, and it's a continuation of the topic on impaired musculoskeletal system. So it's part 2, and we'll be studying a few more diseases which are actually all classified as arthritis. Okay, in the first video we've already studied muscle cramps, osteoporosis and muscular dystrophy. So today's lesson will be about osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis and gout. Let us refer back to the overview which was provided in the first lesson on impaired musculoskeletal system. In the first video we discussed muscle cramp, muscular dystrophy and osteoporosis. So in this second video, we will discuss arthritis, which is a group of diseases or is a disorder involving inflammation and degeneration of joints. So a joint is a meeting place between two or more bones. In arthritis, there is inflammation, meaning swelling, pain and redness, okay, at the joints. Degeneration occurs at the joints, meaning parts of the structures at the joints may waste away or wear off. Okay, and so there are three types of arthritis that we are going to study. Although there are many types of arthritis, we will study these three. The first one is osteoarthritis, where cartilage wears away at the bone ends due to wear and tear. Secondly is rheumatoid arthritis, which is the inflammation of the synovial membrane caused by the body's own immune system that mistakenly attacks the synovial membrane. And the third one is gout, which is caused by deposition of uric acid in the joints. So all these three conditions cause inflammation at the joint. And these diseases are very important to study for the exams. Certain diseases have come up before, like osteoarthritis and osteoporosis and muscle cramp. For the rest, they have not yet been asked as far as I know. So you can, more will be tested in this final year of the Form 5. I believe that these diseases may be asked and tested again, as they are quite important for the syllabus. So please remember to study 4 aspects of each disease. Okay, the first one is the definition for the disease. Secondly is the cause. Thirdly, the symptoms. And fourthly, the treatment or prevention. Now for symptoms, the way that the question is asked will be, explain the effect of something, like osteoarthritis on the health of a person, or explain the effect of osteoporosis on the health of a person. So when they talk about the effect, when the question asks about effect, write about the symptoms and the cause. Mainly the symptoms and the cause, okay? Or explain the consequences of a disease on the health of a person. The fourth type of disorder related to the musculoskeletal system is arthritis. Arthritis is a disorder where there is inflammation or degeneration of joints, bones, cartilage, and synovial membrane, all at the joints. Okay, the symptoms include inflammation, pain, and stiffness at the joint. So inflammation means a condition where body parts become swollen, red, and painful as a reaction to an injury or infection. Okay, so in Chinese we call it fa yan, and in Malay is radang, menjadi radang. So the symptoms are, other than inflammation, are pain and stiffness at the joint. So the joint may not be able to function well, the bones at the joint cannot move. Right, and the treatment is just to eat the painkillers to relieve the person of pain, and to eat anti-inflammatory drugs that can reduce the swelling at the joints. So there are three types of arthritis: osteoarthritis, where the cartilage breaks down; rheumatoid arthritis, where there's inflammation of synovial membrane; and gout, where there's deposition of the uric acid in the joints. So here we have an organizational chart which shows the information this way, and we have already discussed what's inflammation and degeneration at the joints. So it involves the joints, and the structures at the joints waste away or are damaged. For example, the cartilage breaks down due to constant wear and tear. Okay, the symptoms are more or less the same for the three of them: inflammation, pain, and stiffness at the joint. So we have to know the different causes. For example, in osteoarthritis, cartilage between the bones breaks down due to excessive wear and tear. That's the cause. For rheumatoid arthritis, there's inflammation of synovial membrane at the joints in ankle, fingers, feet, and wrist. And for gout, is the deposition of uric acid in the joints. We will discuss this as we go along. Okay. Okay, let's look at the first type of arthritis, osteoarthritis. Osteo, as we know, has something to do with bones. So the cause of osteoarthritis is that it is caused by aging, and it's very common in old people. So the older a person gets, the more his cartilage will have broken down due to excessive wear and tear, especially at the knee. Whenever a person walks, he has to rub the cartilage against each other, so it will wear down, it will break down. And then bone ends rub together. Bone ends are found at just behind the cartilage. So if the cartilage is worn out, then the bone ends will be exposed and they will rub together, causing pain, stiffness, and also inflammation. So that's the symptom, stiff and painful. Treatment is to replace the damaged joints here. Now you can see the cartilage has worn off, with artificial metal ones made of plastic or titanium. Okay, so let's look at the picture here. This one is showing you the thin cartilage, almost no more already, because it's worn out due to excessive wear and tear. So the bone ends will rub together and there'll be a lot of pain. So the treatment is to use an artificial joint instead. Let us look at one treatment for osteoarthritis, the artificial knee joint. The first picture shows you the knee joint, with the femur forming a joint with the tibia below it. So at the knee, this part is the knee. We can see that there's a thick layer of cartilage, the white part, at the bone ends, which help to prevent, to reduce friction at the joint. Now the bone and cartilage tissue are actually living tissues. They're not dead. So with constant use, like walking up and down and so forth, the cartilage will wear away as it continues to rub against each other, the pieces of cartilage. So we can see here that the cartilage has broken down, exposing the bones. So diseased joint. This is a diseased joint, and it gives rise to osteoarthritis. So the person can go for treatment to get an artificial knee joint when the condition is very severe. So to make the artificial knee joint, the doctor has got to get these components ready. okay, the femoral component that is fixed onto the femur, and the one below it here is the plastic component. It's a spacer, probably to divide these two areas, and then the metal plate here below on top of the tibia. These are the tibia components of the tibia. So in this condition, the bone ends will not rub against each other anymore because they are metal parts that are in contact with other metal parts. Okay, that's it. The second type of arthritis that we are studying is called rheumatoid arthritis, which involves the inflammation of the synovial membrane of joints in the fingers and the ankles. Let's take a look at the picture here of the hand, picture of the hand. We can see that in between the joints here, there is inflammation and the joint has become swollen. So if you enlarge the picture, you see that it is the synovial membrane that has become inflamed, red, swollen, and painful. So this is because the body's own immune system mistakenly attacked the joint and the synovial membrane. This is called an autoimmune disease, and not much is known about why it suddenly attacks the joints. Okay, so the synovial fluid will accumulate in the joints here, and this will cause the joint to swell up, becoming painful and stiff. That means it can't function well, especially for when somebody needs to move the fingers. For example, to open a door, they have to turn the doorknob. They may have a problem with that, with the joints. So the treatment is to eat the painkillers to reduce the pain and eat the anti-inflammatory drugs that can reduce the inflammation and swelling. So in order to relieve pain and discomfort. So here we have a picture that compares the normal joint with the joint that has osteoarthritis and the joint that has rheumatoid arthritis. For osteoarthritis, as we have discussed before, the cartilage has thinned down, so the bone ends rub together and there's pain and stiffness. For rheumatoid arthritis, it's the synovial membrane that is attacked and becomes inflamed, not the cartilage. Okay, that's it. To remind ourselves that it's different. The osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis is different. Another musculoskeletal disease is gout, which is a type of arthritis. So it is a form of arthritis because the joint becomes swollen, inflamed, and painful, like for osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. So the definition for gout is, it is a metabolic disease caused by deposition of uric acid crystals in joints. What is a metabolic disease? Metabolic disease occurs when there are abnormal chemical reactions going on in the body. In this case, the abnormal chemical reactions have to do with the uric acid production and excretion, which we'll discuss further down. So symptoms are the joints become swollen, inflamed, painful, especially in the big toe and ankle. Why is the joint painful? Let's have a look. So if we were to cut through the joint or cut through the flesh here, you see that the joint is deposited with the uric acid crystals, which are sharp and needle-like. So you prick the skin and the tissues around the joint, and it's very painful. Okay, and the joint becomes swollen and inflamed due to the deposition of the uric acid crystals. The treatment is to avoid foods rich in purines, such as beans and red meat. These have a lot of a compound known as purines, which the body will break down, okay, which is broken down to produce uric acid. then what happens to this uric acid? In normal people or healthy people, it will be excreted from the kidney in the urine, be excreted in the urine. However, for a person with gout, their kidney may not be able to excrete most of the uric acid, or their body is producing too much uric acid from the metabolism involving purines. So whatever the reason is, the level of uric acid in the blood of gout patients is high. The level of uric acid in the blood is high, maybe because the kidney cannot excrete all of the uric acid or most of the uric acid like in normal people. So when the level of uric acid in the blood is high, some of the uric acid will be deposited in the joints, and that causes gout. So here we will explain what's the difference between normal healthy people and gout patients that makes them get the disease. First of all, when a person eats meat and seafood, or even beans, which contain the purines, the special compound that's broken down to form uric acid. So the body will break down the purines and produce the uric acid. So in normal healthy people, the uric acid will be sent to the kidneys by the blood. And the kidneys will filter this uric acid out. That means it will excrete the uric acid in the urine. However, for gout patients, the body is producing too much uric acid from metabolism of purines, or the kidneys are excreting too little uric acid. So whatever the reason is, for gout patients, the uric acid level in the blood builds up, and then the uric acid will be deposited as sharp needle-like crystals in the joints, causing pain, swelling, inflammation. Okay, so that ends the session or the lesson for this video, and please share, like and subscribe. See you in the next video.